You ever wonder what you're really worth to a company? I mean, it's got to be more than just the price of that one thing you bought last week. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how businesses calculate your true long-term value and what that actually means for you. I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? Taking a feeling, something like loyalty, and turning it into cold, hard numbers on a spreadsheet? But believe it or not, that's exactly what businesses are doing every single day to make some of their biggest decisions. So how on earth do they do it? All right, so here's our game plan for the next few minutes. We're going to start with the basics. What even are customer metrics? Then we'll get into the price of a customer, decode this thing called customer lifetime value, and finally, look at the big ultimate goal, customer equity. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, what are customer metrics? Let's get the big picture here. So, think of customer metrics like a company's secret decoder ring. Seriously, they take all your feedback, every click, every survey you fill out, every review you leave, and they crunch it all down into a single powerful number. It's basically how they try to read your mind and figure out what you're going to do next. And you've probably run into some of these yourself, right? You get that email asking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend us? That's the Net Promoter Score, or NPS. But while all these are useful snapshots, for a lot of businesses, the real holy grail is that last one on the list, customer lifetime value, or CLV. And that's what we're really going to dig into today. So why this obsession with metrics? I mean, why go to all this trouble? Well, it all comes down to a simple and kind of brutal economic truth that every single business has to face. Just look at this number. It can cost a company 5 to 25 times more to get a new customer in the door than it does to just keep an existing one happy. Let that sink in for a second. That is a massive, massive difference. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? All the ads, the marketing campaigns, the sales efforts, just to get one new person to buy something. That's why customer retention isn't just a buzzword, it's like a fortress for a business. If they can keep you around, they can spend way less on chasing new people and a lot more on building a stable business. This right here is the why behind all these metrics. Okay, so if keeping customers is the goal, then what's the best tool for the job? Well, that's where customer lifetime value, CLV, comes in. If customer metrics are a toolbox, CLV is the power drill. You can think of CLV as a company's crystal ball. It's a prediction of the total profit a business expects to make from you over the entire time you're a customer. It's all about seeing the whole relationship, not just that first purchase. And this visual here really shows it perfectly. Your value as a customer isn't just a single point in time. It's a journey. It might start small with one little purchase, but over time, as you build trust with a brand, that value can grow and grow. CLV is the map they use to try and predict that entire journey. Now, the real math behind this can get super complicated, but a really simple way to think about CLV is just asking 3 questions. How much do they spend? How often? And for how long? So let's think a coffee shop. Say a customer spends $5 a visit. They come in 3 times a week, and the shop expects them to stay loyal for a couple of years. You can see how that little daily coffee starts to add up to some serious long-term value. But here's the absolute key to understanding CLV, and this quote nails it. It's not just about how much money you spend, it's about how much the company actually keeps. The best CLV models are all about profit, not just revenue. Yeah, exactly. To get to the real CLV, a business has to subtract everything. The cost to get you as a customer in the first place, the cost of customer service, the cost of the products themselves, whatever's left over, that's the profit. That is the true measure of your value. All right, so we have looked at how a single customer's value is calculated. But now let's zoom back out. How does this one number help a company figure out its total worth? This slide right here shows a huge shift in how businesses think. The old way, a company saw itself as just a collection of products to sell. But the new, much smarter way is to see the company as a portfolio of customers. Each one is a valuable long-term asset. And that brings us to the ultimate metric, customer equity. It's actually pretty simple. It's just the grand total of all the CLVs of all of a company's customers. So imagine valuing a company not by its factories or its inventory, but by the future profits locked up in its customer base. That's the power of customer equity. And why does this matter so much? Well, for one, it proves that customers are literally a company's most valuable asset. It's also a forward-looking indicator, kind of a crystal ball for future cash flow.
And it helps businesses figure out exactly where to spend their marketing money to get the biggest bang for their buck.
So the next time you're out shopping or you click buy now, just think about this. In that moment, are you just a one-time transaction or are you a long-term assets they're investing in? Because you can bet that, to them, you're a number, and they're doing everything they can to make that number grow.